Exotic cars are the stuff of dreams, fast, flashy, loud, and beautiful. But not all exotics have the same purpose, and not all exotics are created equal, which is why today we are going through the top 20 most popular exotic brands and ranking them from worst to absolute best based on things like brands' impacts as well as the cars themselves, of course. So, starting with the Radical. Yes, in spot 20, we have the Radical. If you've ever wanted to legally drive a go-kart with a jet engine on public roads, this might be your vibe. These are Le Mans style cars with license plates slapped onto them. Sounds fun, right? Sure, until you hit the pothole and your spine sues you. Radical cars are insane on the track, but on regular roads, they're loud, uncomfortable, and absolutely unlivable as a daily. Unless you're crazy. That's why they land dead last. Respect to the engineering, but Radical is for the track day diehards only. The rest of us need, suspension that doesn't dislocate our kidneys. Next. Yeah, your future garage just called and it asked, bro, where is my ideal dream car? Well, it might just be in our very first Ideal Collective giveaway. We're about to drop it, and if you sign up for free right now in the pinned first comment, you'll be the first to see it. No spam, no weird surveys, just sweet ideal cars. Hit the link and let your garage live its best life. Now, back to the show. At 19, we have Zenvo. This is a Danish brand that if you know, you know. Playing Forza Horizon? Yeah. Aggressive styling? Check. Twin supercharged V8? Check. Spontaneous combustion? Also check. Yeah, Zenvo made headlines a few years ago when their cars literally caught on fire on camera. And that's not quite the vibe that we're going for here. Anyways, production numbers are so low that calling them limited feels generous. They make like 5 cars a year. It's like 1 every 2 months, taking off the last 2 months of the year. But Zenvo's got passion, and their recent TSR-S with the wacky tilting rear wing is wild. But it's not enough. It's a cool brand, but it just hasn't evolved enough yet. Up next, we have Noble, and this one is a weird one. British, quirky, and once full of promise. Their M600 is a featherweight V8 monster that handles like a dream, but it's powered by a Volvo engine. Yeah, like the one that your mom drives. The same company that makes safe wagons for dads puts the engine in this thing. That kind of kills the vibe of Cars and Coffee when they ask, what's it powered by? Volvo? I mean, Noble never quite escaped the plucky underdog label, and their brand has been super quiet for years now. Enthusiasts, they love them. But even more myth than mainstream is what Noble is. So yes, Noble had its moment in the heyday, but now, today, it kind of feels like they just don't exist, unfortunately. Number 17 is Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus, aka SCG. Imagine if your rich uncle got really into racing and just started a car company for the fun of it. That's basically SCG. Born from racing dreams and private money, they've built some of the wildest looking stuff. The 004S is like a Batmobile mated with a GT40 and had this incredible thing. Yeah, they're pushing the boundaries and chasing Le Mans glory. But let's be honest, they're still a niche. Cool names, even cooler cars, but they're not exactly in every poster kid's dream garage. SCG has potential, and we love the passion, but it still feels like a garage project with $1 billion budget. Talk to us in 5 years. Call me maybe. At 16, we have Celine. And if you've watched Bruce Almighty as a kid, the Celine S7 was probably seared into your brain. That thing was a legit American hypercar, mid-engine V8, raw power, and seriously gorgeous looks. But after the S7, crickets. I mean, there's been Celine Mustangs, but nowadays, their projects just don't quite hit as hard as they used to. The S7 still slaps so hard, and it earned Celine a spot on this list for its legacy. But the company's current trajectory is sort of up in the air. At 15, it's Aspark. The Japanese company's first car, the Aspark Owl, is an all-electric hypercar that does 0 to 60 in just 1.69 seconds. What do you do with the rest of your life when you go that fast, that quick? I mean, that's quicker than gravity. Here's the one thing though, no one's talking about it. It's almost too fast for its own good. It costs over 3 mil, barely anyone drives one, and it's kind of disappeared after its initial hype. Props to Aspark for doing something crazy, but they need a second act. Right now, the Owl feels more like a physics experiment than a car with soul. At number 14, we have W Motors. If Dubai turned into a car, it would be the Lykan Hypersport. That's W Motors in a nutshell. Flashy, ridiculous, and unapologetically extra. The Lykan has diamonds in the headlights, for God's sakes. The Fenir has nearly 1,000 horsepower, and the price tags are straight up cartoonish. Do they perform as well as they cost? Well, not really. But does that matter when you're pulling up to a skyscraper in a car that looks like it came out of a video game? Not at all. W Motors isn't here to win Le Mans. They're here to win flex points, and in that world, they are killing it. Up next, Gordon Murray, Automotive. Mr. Murray is the Einstein of exotic cars. The man literally designed the McLaren 1. Isn't that what the F stands for? And his new company is all about doing things his way. The T50 and T33 are lightweight, analog, rear-wheel drive hypercars that spit in the face of hybrid trend chasing. They're engineering marvels, plain and simple, but they're also insanely exclusive, like 3 million plus exclusive, and they don't really shake up the culture like a Lambo or a Ferrari. Gordon's cars are for purists, not posers. They're breathtaking, but not exactly poster on the kids' walls material, unless those kids also collect mechanical watches and read wine tunnel journals. I wasn't one of those kids. For a while, Maserati was the guy at the party who looked cool but spilled wine on the carpet and then didn't clean it up. Their cars sounded amazing but broke down like they all were built with pasta, but now they're staging a comeback. I love comebacks. Don't forget they did build that famous MC12 back in the day, and more recently, they announced its spiritual successor, the MC20, a legit mid-engine supercar with 621 horses, butterfly doors, and a bespoke Nettuno V6 engine that actually rips. It's fast, it's beautiful, and it's not falling apart yet. If Maserati can keep this momentum, they might finally shake off their reputation as exotic car underachievers. For now, they're climbing slowly, but they still have to earn back everyone's trust. SSC's Touittara claimed to break the 300 mile per hour mark. Then people did some math and, well, the internet, they just completely disagreed. What followed was a top speed soap opera that retracted statements and rerun tests and a bunch of drama that we can't get into right now because I can make my own video on it. But we gotta give credit where credit's due. The Touittara is real and it is insane. With over 1,750 horses and sleek alien styling, this American hypercar, it's the real ideal deal, even if it fumbled the PR. SSC's been chasing speed records since the Ultima Aero days. And even if they tripped on the way there, they're still running. Their cars are brutally fast, extremely rare, and uniquely American. They just need a new PR guy. I'm available, I'm unemployed. Breaking into the top 10, we've got Hennessy. Only in Texas would someone look at a Lotus Elise and think, let's put 1,200 horsepower V8 in that thing, don't you think? That's Hennessy for you. The Venom GT was their original speed freak, and now they're gunning for 300 mile plus with a Venom F5. It's part spaceship, part muscle car, and it's got a twin turbo V8 named Fury. Subtle, huh? But all the horsepower and headlines, Hennessy is still a boutique brand. They're ambitious and wild, but they haven't proven themselves on the same level as the big dogs yet. Still, you gotta love the American energy. Up next at number 9 is Rene Haas. This French company doesn't make noise, but they are fast as hell. Their flagship, the Nevada, put out nearly 2,000 horses, does 0 to 60 in under 2, and never needs to shift gears. And while electric hypercars might not make your ears tingle, Rene Haas is changing the entire industry. They now own a controlling stake in Bugatti. Let that sink in. Yeah, the student is becoming the teacher. Rene Haas is proof that electric performance isn't just the future, it's already here. Lotus is what happens when you take everything unnecessary out of a car. You know, the guy Colin Chapman, he said essentially remove all the weight in a vehicle to make it as fast as possible, and then it should break down once it crosses the finish line. And for decades, Lotus has been building performance machines like the Elise, Exige, and Evora, cars that handled like dreams and felt like go-karts for grown-ups. But now they are evolving. The Amira is a refined, powerful sports car that doesn't compromise on comfort. And the Avija, well, that's a 2,000 horsepower electric hypercar. Yeah, Lotus made that. Yeah, a flower made that. Crazy flower. They've still got their driver's first DNA, but now they're dressing it up with actual luxury and tech. It also has quite a bit more history and pedigree than Rene Haas, which is why it breaks into our top 888. Number 7 is Pagani. Founded by the former Lamborghini designer Orazio Pagani, this company builds the most articulate and gorgeous pieces of automotive art in the world. The Zonda and Huayra are absolute masterpieces. Every nut and bolt is design precision. Every curve is purposeful. And now we've got the Utopia, the third act in Pagani's trilogy of madness. It's got that Mercedes AMG V12, a gated manual gearbox, and enough carbon fiber to outfit a fighter jet. That is the level that we are at here, folks. And if one company exemplified exotic, more than any other on this list, Pagani, they'd have my vote. Aston Martin is known for James Bond, and that was his car of choice for a reason. Elegance with violence underneath. For a while, the brand leaned a little too hard into the luxury side and lost some of that edge, but now they are back. The Valhalla and Valkyrie are pure insanity. High-revving, F1 inspired road legal jet fighters, and with actual F1 involvement now, thanks to their F1 team. Aston Martin's performance cred is rising fast. The DB12 is a proper Grand Tourer, and they've even got electric stuff on the way. It's classy speed, wrapped in British charm, and dressed in a tuxedo. Very shaken, not stirred. You know all about them. 720S, Artura, and 750S. I mean, they kind of named most of their cars after snowboard tricks. They are all, though, technical masterpieces. Lightweight, precise, and viciously fast. Their P1 changed the hypercar game, and the Speedtail looks like it was sent from the future, but reliability, not so great. The brand has faced quality control issues and financial drama, which keeps it from the very top. Still, McLaren is consistently pushing the envelope, innovating in aerodynamics, hybrid tech, and design, thanks in part to their extremely successful and storied F1 team. It is our first company to break into the top 5. At number 4, Bugatti. This is a company that isn't trying to impress anyone except themselves. They know they are elite. Every car is engineered to a level that's honestly hard to comprehend. The Chiron Supersport 300 Plus broke the 300-mile-per-hour barrier and designed a quad-turbo W16 engine that is possibly the greatest engine ever built. Now, with Ramats in the mix, the next-gen Bugatti might bend the rules of physics even harder. But Bugatti doesn't just do numbers, they do luxury. Insane top speed? Yes, but also quilted leather, crystal start buttons, and million-dollar price tags. Plus, they've been doing this since the early 1900s. Pretty insane. Koenigsegg makes our top 3. This brand is what happens when a genius Swedish teenager grows up and doesn't grow out of his car obsession. Christian von Koenigsegg, or the Egg, well, his creations are mind-blowing. The Jesko, Gemera, Regera, everyone is a masterclass in innovation. Camless engines, 1-to-1 power ratios, hybrid drivetrains, and no transmissions. Because who needs them anyway? And they are not only fast, but also smart, efficient, and beautifully designed. Koenigsegg's don't play by the rules because they keep rewriting them. They're rare, wildly expensive, and hard to pronounce, but if you know, you know. Numero dos is the fighting bull, Lamborghini. They have never cared what you think. It's a raging bull that screams past you at 9,000 RPM in a lime green paint job and doors that open up, and it's hard to hate them. Yeah, the Revuelto is the new hybrid V12 monster. The Huracan Tarato goes off-road, and the Urus is still the king of exotic SUVs. Every Lambo feels like it was designed by a 12-year-old with super high sugar intake, and that is completely the point. They are dramatic and practical, over the top in every way, and I absolutely love me some Lambo. But they're also undeniably awesome. Lamborghini is the original supercar rock star, and they are still headlining the tour. Ferrari. Yes, finally, of course, Ferrari. The name alone carries more weight than most car companies will ever earn. It's racing history, engineering precision, and Italian passion all baked into one bright red package with tan guts. They have created masterpieces like the 250 GTO, F40, F50, and La Ferrari, and the brand is just synonymous with supercars and class more than anything. Every model is a carefully crafted evolution of decades of perfection. You could argue for Lambo's flair or Koenigsegg's tech, but when it comes to status, Ferrari still wears the crown. So, what'd you think of the list? Is it the ideal list, or did I screw up the ideal list? Let me know in the comments below. Did I get anything wrong? Probably. Let me know what I screwed up on as well. Also, if you enjoyed the vid, like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and check out these Ideal vids over here. I'm Brad, this is Ideal. We'll catch you next week, and promise me one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.